Hello all, thank you for tuning in. I am Ruben Lyron Healer from the Black Cat Treasury, or BCT Reiki and Gifts. So this week's video is about the solar eclipse in Taurus and the black moon. Both of these events are happening simultaneously on the 30th of April. So this is an energy update on this and some of the things which you can expect, and I'll give you a little background on some of the things, or I'll give you some background, on those sorts of energy. I'll speak a bit about Taurus energy. I'll talk about the eclipses and new moons slash the black moon, because a black moon is when we have two new moons in the same month. So this doesn't happen very often. Hence, it's a little like what more people will have heard of a blue moon. So a blue moon is when you have 2 months. So a blue moon is when you have two full moons in 1 month. So, however, this on the 30th of April in this month we've had two new moons. We've had one on the first of April, and we'll have one on the 30th, which is when all of this juicy energy seems to be happening. There's so much. I'm going to get into it in a moment. So I will also, I'm going to give you I'm going to explain a bit about some of the Taurus energies which you can expect to come through, and explaining about what the eclipses and black moons, what sort of energies you can expect to come forward, and some of the things that you may experience. And I will also be doing I'll pull some cards to give a bit more information on things which we can expect. This is into the light. This is the Kwan Yin Oracle. So I will be using that, and I will be using my brand new Dragon Oracle cards. So I will be using both of these. Well, both of these cards are relatively new. I usually use the Ascended Masters deck, but I won't get into that. You'll probably, if you stick around and watch some of the other videos, which I shall do in the upcoming weeks, I will use the Ascended Masters deck so you can see that, because that is pretty cool as well. So yeah, with Taurus energy, we have with Taurus, Venus is Taurus's ruling planet. So Venus is the goddess of love. So with Taurus, you wouldn't really expect that, because Taurus, everyone who knows something about astrology knows that Taurus, the sign for Taurus, is like a bull, or the representation for the Taurus energy or constellation is a bull. So bulls are often wild and quick-tempered, and they act quickly. Although they can also be content to just stand in a field and eat grass. So that's the thing about Taurians, or bulls in general. It's hard to know which side of them you're going to get, because they can just quickly turn in a flash from serenity into full rage. So yeah, that's Taurian energy for you. So although I was saying about Venus being the ruling planet, so Venus, she's the goddess of beauty. She's a delicate goddess, shining, glowing, teaching people to profess love for each other. So it may seem like, I'm trying to find the right word, it's quite conflicting, or, yeah, I can't find the other word that I'm after. But yeah, you get what I mean. It's kind of like an opposite, but opposites attract. Venus's lover was Hephaestus, so I can't attest to any connections with Taurus and Hephaestus. There may be some, but I'm not aware of them. Although I'm just trying to put across that Venus was attracted to Hephaestus, and he was the complete opposite to Aphrodite or Venus, who was she's very beautiful, and Hephaestus was supposed to be ugly and quite harsh looking, although he was very vital because he made weapons for the gods. Although we won't get into that because I'm kind of going off topic. But yeah, Venus is the ruling planet. So another thing to be aware about Taurus is a fixed sign. So, oh wow, so with fixed signs, I'm a fixed sign. I'm a different sign. I'm Leo. So Leo is also a fixed sign. So when it comes to astrology, you have the zodiac is split up into a couple of different, or a few different categories. There's fixed, mutable, cardinal. I think it could be those three. I may be forgetting one. My memory isn't the best, but the important thing is that Taurus is a fixed sign, and fixed signs, we do not like change. Fixed signs love things to stay exactly the way they are. Especially when it comes to the home or job. Like if you've got something going good for you, then you want that to stay exactly the same, and you're going to play hell if somebody tries to take it away from you or change it in any way. So that is kind of what a fixed sign is all about. So so yeah, another thing about Taurians. Sorry if you see me looking over here. I wrote a little sheet so I can remember some of my points, because otherwise I will waffle on for hours, and I want this video to be as concise and to the point as possible. So yeah, another thing about Taurians is they respect old values, so they're quite old-fashioned, and that kind of ties in with the fixed sign attribute to them. So the Taurean energy. So in the coming months, you may see more call, or more. You may feel more drawn to old values, whether they're old traditional values or family values and stuff like that. You may feel drawn to that more and more. So another thing to be aware of with Taurians, Taurians seek peace and harmony above all else. So although there can be a bull in a china shop sometimes, they also, deep down within them, rage aside in temper tantrums, or the flippant personality aside, they, deep inside, all they want is some peace and harmony, and to just be free to do what they want to do, to be in their own space, and to not have anyone messing around with them, no one playing them. They just want peace and harmony at the root of everything. So that is their inner desire. So I feel you may feel drawn into this yourself as we're going through this um, solar eclipse in Taurus. You may feel some of this. You may feel like all hell's breaking loose. That you've got this, that, and the other going on, and you just feel like you just need some peace and quiet, and you just can you just hide away, so to speak. But I will go into. I've add another point about that actually somewhere. Ah, yeah, there it is. I'm going to speak about that when I talk more about the eclipse. So another thing to be aware of with the Taurus energy is Taurus is all to do, as I mentioned a bit earlier, like there's the sacred bull is like the representation of Taurian energy. So the sacred bull, um, the bull was connected with various deities in mythological in ancient times, such as the Minoans, they were crazy about the bull. Probably most in Egyptian society, they Hathor, she's not a bull, she's like the female counterpart. So she was a cow goddess, a cow-headed goddess. So she was like a mother goddess, and so if you've heard of Isis, she is the mother of Isis. So a lot of the things that we see in Isis, a lot of that energy comes from the Hathor energy, because basically she takes after her mother in that she's a mother nurturing goddess of, who wants to look after her child or children. So, but as I was saying, I kind of went off on a tangent there. So it's to do with the different deities which are connected with bull energy. So there is Osiris. He is an important one who connects with the whole Taurean energy. So some of the things that you may experience, so I'll get into that in a moment. So I'm also going to point out Zeus. So Zeus and Poseidon, they have some connections with bulls as well in their representations. Like bulls were often sacrificed to the gods. So sacred cows and sacred bulls, they were sacrificed to the gods, such as they would have been sacrificed to Zeus and Poseidon. Maybe even Hathor, I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure about the Hathor, but I know they was sacrificed to Zeus or Poseidon. There's the whole Minotaur mythology as well. So if you have no clue about a Taurian and the mystery and the madness, then think about the Minotaur. A lot of people have heard about the myth of Theseus and the Minotaur. So the Minotaur was just like such a rageful creature. But I feel like the story comes from, basically, I think there is the queen of the Cretans. She was basically impregnated by the sacred bull, so by the sacred white bull, and she gave birth to the Minotaur. So the Minotaur then ended up living within the maze, because it was like a mythical creature just in like the regular world, and they was unsure of how to contain it because they wasn't prepared to deal with that sort of thing. So it kind of ties in, because some people may feel like that when they're around Taurians, or you may feel like that in the coming weeks with this Taurian energy around, that you may feel like there's like this somebody who's around you, and you're just not quite sure how to deal with them, so you'd rather kind of just like confine it away. Although you can see why you'd think that, because there's the whole bull in the china shop analogy, but you've just got to kind of find the best way to deal with it on your own. And I'm kind of going off on a tangent, but because that's not what I was supposed to be speaking about. But so yeah, I was talking about the Minotaur, and I was talking about Osiris. So yeah, basically, to cut a long story short, bulls, cows, and bulls are very sacred in the ancient world. So that's my point. And also, as I was speaking about Osiris, Osiris had a strong connection with bulls, and the whole story of Isis and Osiris. So the Isis and Osiris were brother and sister, and also lovers. And the king and queen of Egypt at one point, after Amun-Ra. Amun-Ra was the king of Egypt, and when he had had enough of humans. He left his throne to his children, Isis and Osiris. So basically, Seth was Isis and Osiris' brother. I may be going off on a tangent here because I wasn't planning on talking about this, but I'll give you the short version. Basically, Set was jealous. Set or Seth, whichever you want to call him, he was jealous of Osiris, his position of being the ruler of Egypt. So therefore, he practically killed Osiris, chopped him up into pieces, and threw all the pieces all over Egypt, so that he couldn't be resurrected through magic. So in the end, Isis, she laboured, gathered all of the pieces, and with the help of other deities such as Thoth and possibly Anubis, she managed to resurrect Osiris and bear a child, Horus. So Horus and Isis, they're the original Madonna and child. So basically, Osiris in Taurean energy, there's a lot of emphasis on birth, on death, birth, and rebirth. So yeah, that's what I was trying to say about that. So yeah, also another thing to bear in mind with Taurean energy, the birthstone for Taurus is emerald. So emerald is a very spiritual stone. I've got a piece here. I will show you. This video is getting longer than I was expecting. So this is a beautiful piece. This is a rough emerald. So if you can see it clearly. I know this isn't the best lighting, but yeah, this is a beautiful piece of emerald. So yeah, emerald is the birthstone for Taurus. So I will speak some more about gemstones in the next part of this. So some of the other complementary stones which you can keep around you at this time. So there's emerald if you'd like to tap into the Solar Taurus Eclipse energy some more. Then a good way to tap into it would be to keep some of these crystals around. So there's emerald for the Taurus connection, and some other green stones in general as well, because that's another thing that I hadn't really mentioned. Taurus is one of the earth signs as well. So green stones such as emerald, peridot, malachite, aquamarine, prehnite. So these are all green stones, and they connect well with the Taurus energy. So, and another important connection that I'd written down here is malachite. Malachite is an interesting gemstone. I don't have any with me at the moment. I do have some in my collection somewhere, but I'm not going to go rooting for it. So malachite is like a green stone, and it has like dark stripes or inflections across it. It's an actually, I've got my Power Crystals book here, so I'll quickly flip to the page and show you. That'll be easier than hunting down. Aha. Alright, so that has not, it's not a brilliant picture, because that's not, it's not showing it how I know malachite. But that is like a strange, rough version of malachite, but basically is a green mineral stone. But it's often the form of malachite that I was describing is the polished version of malachite. So it's often like a nice green coloured stone like what you saw there, but it often has like bands of black on the stone, a bit like rings on a tree, so to speak. So that is malachite. So the interesting energy connection with malachite is that malachite kind of taps in to the bull energy well, a lot more than maybe some of the others. because Malachite is, it's kind of one of those gemstones and minerals that you shouldn't play around with lightly, because it's such a powerful and flippant energy to it. So basically, with Malachite, you attract. Basically, it's kind of like a powerful attraction of whatever you're thinking about. So basically, if you're focusing on something bad, then you with wearing or carrying Malachite, you will attract more of that thing to you. So if you're thinking, if you've got good and positive thoughts and you're carrying and working with Malachite, then you will draw more and more of that. So basically, Malachite is kind of like a mirroring stone. It mirrors, it helps you to manifest and mirror like what's in the inside and bring it outside, if that makes sense. So yeah, I just wanted to quickly say that that connects with the Malachite energy. That that connects with the Taurean connection there, because the energy of Malachite. My point was the energy of Malachite matches like its bull energy. So it's because it's quite unpredictable. That is the word I was after. I'm glad I finally found one word that I was searching for. Plumbing heck. But yeah, so interesting stuff there. I'm sorry that this is taking a while to get out. I hope I'm being concise and not just babbling on at you. Right, so yeah, another thing to be aware of at this time during the eclipse and the black moon with the Taurean energy coming through is let go, let yourself go. Don't you don't have to keep everything like in check. I know with the Taurean energy, Taurians like to control things. They like to keep everything looking prim and proper, and it goes in with the old and traditional values sort of theme again. But let yourself go for a bit during this period. It's a good time to just let things go. Like stop keeping up with appearances. This keeping up appearances is not essential at this present time. This is a time for introspection, self-exploration, and for healing. So it's a good time for inner work with these energies that are going around. That is what is good right now. Or rather, this video is going. I'm releasing this video now, so this is. I'm talking about the energies which will be strongest around the 30th of April. But when it comes to eclipse energy, you feel those energies like at least a couple of weeks, maybe a month before, and you'll be feeling the eclipse energies. So you'll be feeling all of these energies that I'm explaining to you. You'll be feeling those like around 6 months after from now, because the eclipse energy, it's very strong and it lasts for a long period. That's another point that I've written here. So when it comes to eclipses, you have an eclipse every 6 months. So that is why this energy is gonna be lasting from now till then. So basically, this energy is going to be lasting until you get a new form of energy, new form of eclipse energy. So it's like holding on the baton. So when it comes around to the next eclipse, then they pass the baton on, and you'll get new energy. So for this specific astrological alignment, so there's the Taurean energy with the 10 degrees. For this specific energy, this only happens every 19 years, so we're not going to have this specific alignment of energy for 19 years, and the last time we had this alignment was 19 years ago. So if you look at things which happened 19 years ago, then you might have a little picture of some of the things that you can expect to happen around the 30th of April this year. Although there is other things to be aware of, there's other astrological influences. There's Uranus's alignment. So the energy from Uranus is the sacred rebel. So he's bringing in energies of liberation. So yes, so you may feel the need to just go out there and liberate yourself, or to work for change, like go find a way to help the underdogs. That is the Uranus alignment with the Taurean energy. So we also have a Venus and Jupiter conjunction as well. So Venus, the goddess of love, Jupiter, the god, king of the gods. So yeah, there's also harmony with Mars. So Mars is a tricky one, and Mars is also the ruler of Aries. So we just came out of Aries' energy, but he's showing his face again with the planet coming into alignment with Venus, or coming into harmony with Venus, or rather coming into alignment with Uranus, sorry. Yeah, because it's Venus and Jupiter who are in conjunction. So basically, there's lots of astrological influences which are coming through, and these astrological influences, these influences often don't change very, very often. So, like, you get planetary retrogrades, like Mercury in retrograde is a popular one, which everyone kind of is wary of. But when a planet goes into retrograde, it means like the values and themes of that planet. So Jupiter is like the planet of authority, and yeah, authority is a good way, the best way to describe it. Venus is like a goddess of love. Mercury is the god of communication. So when these planets go into retrograde, you can expect the opposite of those things to happen. So, what else? Yeah, another thing that you may be aware of right now is you may feel the pull to stay in and sort yourself out. It goes back to letting go of yourself, and it being a time for introspection and going deep within, and just tapping into the energetic downloads which are coming through from the eclipse and the black moon. So yeah, you may be pulled to stay in and sort yourself out, and stay and sort your home out as well. So that's okay, go with that. If that's what you're drawn to do, then go with it. Because these are those feelings and urges are being influenced by the Taurean energy. So the other thing to be aware of. So yeah, you may also experience heightened intuition throughout this period. So there's a lot of people who are intuitive. Everyone is intuitive to some degree, but there's some people who are more intuitive than others through practice, or just by not closing off the talent, but by not being conditioned by society so much. So yeah, there's more people who are more open to their intuitive abilities. So yeah, you may feel like whatever level you're at with your intuitive abilities, you may feel like you're opening up to them more around this period. So yeah, one of the main things to remember with this solar eclipse is this is a time for new beginnings. So there's just, again, that goes back with the Osiris thing. So with the death of something old and rebirth and new beginnings. So yeah, this period is kind of like an initiation period. So once you've been through this initiation, then amazing things, the new beginnings, will appear into your life. So when it comes to eclipses or the black moon in general, the black moon the black moon basically is asking you to be aware that there's lessons to be learned. So this is why the black moon's a good time for doing shadow work, delving into your past lives, overcoming karma. It's a time for healing and, as I said before, new beginnings. So it's all about having an inner transformation. So basically, be aware that once you're working on yourself and you're bringing about this inner transformation, you're opening yourself up to the universal energies, which are upgrading your very DNA and your soul, so to speak. So basically, once that inner work has been done within you, then it's the microcosm, macrocosm laws come into play. Like, as within, so without. So once you've done that inner work, then you're also doing the outer work simultaneously. So, and it's all to do with us all working as a collective as well. If we're all doing this inner and transformative work, then we're also helping the earth with her transformation and her rebirth. So as within, so without. It goes with that comes from the emerald tablet. As above, so below. So the emerald tablet, if you're unaware of that, I will put the inscription. I'll put some of the inscription from the emerald tablet in the description of this video. It's an interesting thing to read. So as above, so below. That is the most popular lines from it. But as within, so without. It's all about duality. So any other important things? I feel like I've been waffling on for a while, so I think I've got most of the points in there. Yeah, I'm happy with that. So I'm going to pull some cards. So basically, I'm just going to do a little quick reading, and this is just going to help us to bring some of these themes and issues and some of the points which I've been making about the Taurean and Solar Eclipse energy. The reading, hopefully, it will bring some clarity of some of the things which we can expect to affect us all as a collective. I call upon the Ascended Masters and the Spirit Guides. Please give us some messages to assist us through this period. Right. Oh, wow. That is amazing. So, the card which I've pulled for you is the Aquamarine Dragon. So basically, what colour is aquamarine? Aquamarine is a green stone, so that aquamarine is tying in with the Taurean energy. So that is one of the stones that you can have around you. So either emerald, aquamarine. So basically, this energy is around us. So I will let you know what it says. So aquamarine enables you to access your deepest soul wisdom. Wow. So what was I telling you about working within? So as within, so without. Delve deep within yourself. So basically, in the charge of the goddess from paganism, that which that this comes this quote which I'm going to say to you now: that which thou seekest, if thou find it, if thou does not find it within thee, thou will never find it without thee. So basically, what you are searching for, if you don't find it within you, you will never find it, because everything that you need is right within you. I might have blubbed that up of some of the lines, but yeah, that is the message of it. That which you're looking for, if you don't find it within you, you will never find it. So, spirituality and wisdom are available to you. Develop your psychic abilities. Again, that's coming back with the eclipse and the solar energy. So, working with your intuition, because this is the perfect time to develop that skill. So, develop your psychic abilities and receive ineffable soul knowledge. Wow. So that is the aquamarine dragon from Neptune. Wow. That is amazing. That card got pulled out. Right, I feel I'm going to grab a card. Oh, I didn't even shuffle that. Alright, so I'm going to grab a card from the Kwan Yin Oracle as well. Once I've pulled these cards, I'll see if I can channel some further messages. Right, Goddess Kwan Yin, what would you like to tell us? So basically, as I'm shuffling these cards, I'll tell you some quick information about the Goddess Kwan Yin. So the Goddess Kwan Yin, she comes from the Chinese spiritual. So I believe it may tap into Shintoism. I may be getting that incorrect though, but also it's to do with Buddhism as well. So basically, Kwan Yin is like the female equivalent to the being Buddha. So the being Buddha, Gautama Buddha. So he was the one who reached enlightenment. So ascension and enlightenment, and basically that is what life is all about. Just like not mattering. Basically, I'll give you just the cliff notes about what I remember from his lifetime. Basically, as far as I know, Gautama Buddha, he was some form of prince, and he had everything that he could ever want. He had riches, wealth, power, status, everything we could ever dream for. He had it, but he was not happy with that, so he decided to just give it all away, give it up, and just go to find himself, go to find enlightenment. And in the end, he'd shedded all of those things like a snake sheds their skin, and he'd gone through the transformation like a snake does. So in the end, after shedding all of the unnecessary things, all of the distractions, he then became enlightened. So yes, so the goddess Kwan Yin, she also did the necessary work to become a Buddha and to become fully enlightened. So she could she turned down her Buddhahood. So rather than being a Buddhahood, she chose to stay on Earth to help everyone else to ascend to Buddhahood. So she turned down Buddhahood so that she could assist everyone else to reach Buddhahood. So she's going to become a Buddha or a Buddha, sorry, she'll accept her Buddhahood that she's already earned. She'll accept it when everyone else on earth is ascended and become a Buddha. So basically, her compassion and her love keeps her here so she can help humanity ascend and find their Buddhahood and their self-worth and basically love. So let's see what the cards tell us. Alright, yes, I want this one. Immortal Treasures. So this card speaks of immortal treasures. So basically, what's coming through for me, what I feel from this is that with the Taurean energy, there's an emphasis on materials, because that's the earthy energy. It kind of ties back into the story I was telling you about Buddha. He and there's also the parable with Jesus as well, and basically just I'm not saying everyone should give everything away that they have. I'm just saying, like, be happy with what you have and know that the true treasures within you are not on the physical. The true treasures are a knowledge which is in your spirit, in your third eye, in your crown, in your aura. So your spirit is the true treasure. Your love is the true treasure. So when you give that love, you are giving the best gift of all. So basically, what I heard was save some for later. So that is, I'm trying to think what that means. Save some for later. So basically, yeah, so I feel like what it's telling me is to hold on to your love, like make your love everlasting, like work on like the longevity of the love and treasuring it, treasure your spirit. So basically, don't burn out your spirit is what I'm getting. Work, like, conserve it. Your spirit is sacred and important, so look after that. Alright, so I'm going to look with the aquamarine dragon. So I'm going to pull one more dragon card. So let's see which card we get. Alright, please bring this reading in this video to a close. Please, dragons, ascended masters, masters of light, please come through for us. Alright, this card wants to come through. So deep blue dragon. Oh wow, so deep blue dragon. So this brings me to my other point, which I missed. So my other point was there's some complementary stones. So the complementary stones, so I talked about having green stones around you to tap into the Taurean energy, but also stones which complement the energy are blue stones, such as like blue lace agate, sapphire, kyanite, topaz. So there's other stones which will help. And also, like, rutile quartz. Rutile quartz isn't blue, although rutile quartz has a powerful connection to the to the Venus energy, because basically rutile quartz is clear quartz and it has threads in the middle, golden threads in the middle, so it looks like there's golden threads inside it. So those threads may be asbestos, if I remember correctly. But yeah, the beautiful golden threads in the middle of it. So that is why they called them Thetis hairs, and that is where the Venus connection comes with. So if you want to connect well with the Venus energy, which is coming through Taurus, because Venus is Taurus's ruling planet. So if you want to tap into that connection, then feel free to use some rutile quartz as well. On to the message of the dragon. So, deep blue dragon. So, this dragon, the energy keeps you safe by clearing your pathway. Trust that you are protected. Walk on a path of light. Wow. That's a beautiful message to close with. Alright, so I'll see if I come with any further closing messages. So I'm being told, tell them to smile. But again, the important message behind that is that smiling and being happy. So do the things that make you happy. Like, have lots of laughs. Laughing raises your vibration so much. So if you remember to smile, if you remember to just don't take yourself too seriously, because with the Taurian energies, the Taurian earthy energies, they are quite a serious bunch. So do not take yourself too seriously. Yeah, just don't worry, be happy. So yeah, I'm gonna end it there. So, and blooming heck, this has been a long video. I hope somebody enjoys the messages which I've given in here. So thank you for joining us, and until next week, I will be back with another video. So thank you, brightest blessings, and namaste.